Episode 56 CW. Continuation of Utah article by fourth-year medical student, excerpts edited by Rozep for brevity and clarity. April 14, 2023. Billy is 6 years old. He comes in to see a healthcare provider with his mother. The healthcare provider is a fourth-year medical student. "What am I seeing you for today, Billy?" Billy is bright, but he is having a really difficult time learning math. The healthcare provider and the mother talk about health risks in the family, genetics. They skip to health habits. Billy loves to play outside and gets exercise. "Do you know how much air pollution Billy is exposed to per day? How is the air quality where you live? Remind me of your zip code." The mother rattles off her zip code, and it is in a rough part of town. The healthcare provider reviews the zip codes. People in Billy's zip code are exposed to some of the highest rates of pollution in the Salt Lake Valley, in Utah. "Doctor, I don't understand. Why are you asking about air?" Billy's learning difficulty and brain development are likely impacted by air quality, specifically in their zip code. Billy is being exposed to higher levels of air pollutants, which are neurotoxic, especially on a developing brain. The healthcare provider scribbles on her prescription pad, "Stop being poor. Move to a wealthy neighborhood. Breathe less bad air." The healthcare provider knows this is the reality for many of her patients. The latest research has shown a link between air pollution exposure and poor academic performance in children. In Utah, a study done in Salt Lake County researched the level of exposure to air pollution for children at school. Results of this study have shown a disproportionate exposure in public schools based on race/ethnicity and socioeconomic status, which is concerning given that air pollution has negative impacts on children's health and academic performance. Children in Utah are being exposed to neurotoxins that will impact their entire life. Vermont. Rozep view: why would this letter writer reject heat pumps? He is unconcerned with the air pollution of wood burning. He claims that heating with wood is cheaper. Old, failed ideas pile up in this letter to the editor in Vermont. The truth is that carbon-neutral wood burning is a lie. Carbon capture is expensive, but is usually subsidized by taxpayers, so this letter to the editor argues for continued wood burning despite the cost to the health for citizens of Vermont. The letter writer simply states that wood burning does not cause air pollution, in the face of scientific evidence to the contrary. The letter writer simply, because it seems economically advantageous for him, ignores scientific evidence. Letter to the editor: done right, isn't wood burning carbon neutral? BT Digger. BT Digger. From what I've read and heard, if you burn properly dried wood, and your wood-burning appliance is working properly, wood burning is carbon neutral. Letter to the editor: done right, isn't wood burning carbon neutral? April 19, 2023. I read a commentary on the Affordable Heat Act, and the writer states that wood burning is more harmful to the environment. I think the state should focus more on carbon-neutral wood heating appliances that are much cheaper than heat pumps and still work when the power goes out. Rozep view: carbon-neutral wood burning is a lie, as scientists have repeatedly stated. It takes centuries or decades to replace trees that are cut down, and in the meantime, the pollution of burning the wood does not magically disappear because someday a tree may grow to maturity in place of the burned tree. Carbon offset payments by polluters only mean the real carbon emissions are not counted if industry or residential wood burner fees are paid for carbon offsets, buying off a polluter's use of pollution in payments to the government. Old, failed ideas pile up in this letter to the editor in Vermont. Carbon capture is expensive, doesn't work, and citizen taxpayers, or their so-called representatives, can sometimes be fooled into subsidizing carbon capture by biomass, wood burning, industry lobbyists. Stopping carbon pollution, to begin with, by not burning solid fuels, such as coal and wood, or any fossil fuel, is the answer to stopping air pollution. The solar suggestion is partially correct, But the combination of solar and biomass makes this a weak suggestion because the suggestion illogically combines the environmentally correct idea of solar power with the environmentally incorrect idea of biomass burning. ROSEP view, Transform Reigate uses the magical idea of negative emission power station to argue for continued wood burning at Vermont's 2 wood-burning electrical plants. The idea is that the wood burning should continue because it is financially attractive. The emissions are not counted, so the emissions are real, but are negative emissions because wood burning is carbon neutral, a notion that has been debunked for many years by scientists. Letter to the editor, Transform Reigate and Vermont Yankee for Jobs and Climate. VT Digger. VT Digger. Vermont's 2 wood-burning electrical plants, McNeil and Reigate, thereby transforming them into negative emission power and storage stations. Excerpts edited by ROSEP for brevity and clarity. April 15, 2023. Here is the gist of recent recommendations to the Vermont Climate Council and several editorials in Vermont papers, calling for the profitable renovation of Vermont's 2 wood-burning electrical plants, McNeil and Reigate, thereby transforming them into negative emission power and storage stations. A similar plan for Vermont Yankee, a 3rd Vermont wood-burning power plant, is also financially attractive and will certainly create more jobs, profits, and climate benefits. Virginia. Northern Virginia Electric Cooperative's effort to sell renewable energy credits fails in Cardinal News. Wood-burning co-op's effort to sell renewable energy credits in Virginia fails to muster support in General Assembly. Wisconsin, Janesville. City of Janesville reminds residents of fire danger, burning regulations. City News. Janesville. These wood-burning campfire pits must have all lids and screens in place while kindled. Of note, residents may not have recreational fires if wind. Wyoming, Cheyenne. DEQ deploys BAM trailer for air quality monitor in Laramie County. The Cheyenne Post. The Cheyenne Post. Particulate matter of 10 micrometers or less, PM10. Particulate matter of 2.5 micrometers or less, PM 2.5, and meteorological parameters. Canada, British Columbia. British Columbia, Kamloops. Planned burn happening north of Kamloops next week. Kamloops, BC now. Kamloops, BC now. Crews will be burning wood debris in the Evergreen Estates area. Burning will proceed only if conditions are suitable and allow smoke to. BC Wildfire Service set to burn hundreds of piles of wood debris in Myra-Bellevue Park. Castanet. Smoke could rise from Myra-Bellevue Park as early as next week. The BC Wildfire Service is planning to burn up to 200 piles of wood debris in Myra. However, smoke and/or flames may be visible from Kelowna and the surrounding areas. The exact timing of the burns will depend on factors such as snow. British Columbia, Vancouver. Fire breaks out at popular Vancouver Cantonese restaurant. Videos, News, Daily Hive. Daily Hive. Dark and black smoke fumed out of a popular restaurant in Vancouver. The plastic and wood burning is what caused the fire to look more. New Zealand, Taupo. Winter is coming. Let's burn smoke-free for better air quality in Taupo. Scoop. Scoop. As the temperature starts to drop, Taupo District households fire up their wood burners to heat up their homes. Unfortunately, Waikato Regional. Australia, Canberra. Probing the polls, no love for wood heater ban plans, and where do you belong in Canberra? Riot Act. In last week's poll, we asked, do we need to ban wood heaters to stop wood smoke pollution? A total of 1,578 readers participated. Your Australia.